Yeah, it was nice to win in Adelaide, and you always look for momentum, but momentum's not meant a lot on this trip so far. It's a different ground, it's going to be different conditions. Whoever adjusts to the conditions the best and plays the best cricket will win tomorrow. We're obviously looking forward to playing tomorrow. We can't afford to lose tomorrow to keep ourselves alive. So we'll be looking to just fight as hard as we fought in Adelaide and play a bit better than we did in Adelaide and hopefully get a victory.
And in your own form, how frustrated have you been the last few innings?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get frustrated. I'm playing really nicely. I've done on this trip, the whole trip so far actually. Frustrated in Hobart, and then unfortunately, not sure it was the wrong option the other night, but it looked like the wrong option the way I got out. Just looking at a hit boundary. But these things happen. Just happens.
You're not worried at all about your form that you have?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Kevin, in terms of the World Cup, then how crucial is the next 3 games for your preparation?
Yeah, it is crucial. Every game's crucial. Every game we love playing. I'm not sure how pivotal and how